Hello and welcome. My name is Ricky and today I'll be showing you around the Docklands Media Lab. Designed in partnership with the RMIT Policy Strategy Impact Team, the Docklands Media Lab is a proposal for a facility that will support the production of film and digital media, enable collaboration with schools and businesses, and be able to host various events and exhibitions. Located in the Docklands Studio Precincts, it brings together the fields of film, TV, VFX, games design, and audio production. So currently we're standing in the inner courtyard of the building. However, if we move up these steps, we can enter into the long room. So the long room stretches continuously throughout the building and features a variety of programs and spaces all mixed in together. And it contains studying zones, games production spaces, editing suites, and startup spaces. On the peripheries of the long room are offices, a makerspace, and a physical effects workshop. The long room is designed to be flexible and features sliding walls which can be used to isolate spaces, and these walls can be slid away when they are not required. Dynamic opportunities and potentials are generated within the long room. The mixing of different programs enables interdisciplinary activity and collaboration. Graduates or startup companies can also use it as a space to work with students on professional projects. The large open room encourages communication and networking between students and professionals of a variety of different disciplines. The high level of openness fosters an environment of potential in which the building is one big tool for you to create, conduct experiments in, and to play with. Professionals from the surrounding Docklands studios will also be attracted to the space due to its amenities, the variety of spaces it contains, and its close proximity to the cafe downstairs. Now if you follow me across the walkway, you'll see one of the domestic areas of the building, inside of which are kitchens, toilets, lounge areas, and even sleeping pods. These spaces reflect the idea of the sticky campus, which refers to a design methodology for university campuses, whereby the design encourages students to stay on campus rather than work at home or elsewhere. The domestic areas make working on campus easier and more comfortable, enabling students to stay longer and thus collaborate and network more. There are also a number of outdoor rooftop spaces for the well-being of students. These spaces create a positive student experience, which in turn creates a positive association with RMIT and a better reputation for the university. The Media Laboratory is strategic about where and how it interacts with the public. Some spaces are shared by the university and the public, such as the theatre and the courtyard, while other spaces specifically cater for public engagement. The makerspace fits into the latter category. The room has a multitude of functions, one of them being a space for startup businesses within the maker movement. The maker movement emphasises DIY constructions, novel technological experimentation, learning through doing, and democratic access to resources for making and learning. The space also serves as a site of interaction between the university and the public. It can host school excursions, STEAM education events, and professional development events. Sliding walls can also isolate the space when required. Another public area is the permanent exhibition space, which serves as an anchor to attract visitors year-round. It showcases work from RMIT students, graduates, and local artists. The exhibition space continues up the tower, where there is a view at the top. Follow me to the theatre, which is located at the top of the building. The design process for the Media Laboratory involved the procedural modification of the cantilever bridge topology and the library topology. Several different examples of cantilever bridges were studied and then averaged out to create a generic version of a cantilever bridge, which we are calling the Generic Operative Diagram, or GOD. For our project, the cantilever bridge GOD had a number of transformations acted upon it, which were derived from a game of Tetris. Similar to the bridge topology, a library atrium GOD was created based on the average of several different library atriums. The GOD was then transformed based on a random number generator. The end result of these experiments was the number of building segments, which were then pieced together on site using an online darts game to determine the location and rotation of the segments. According to Christopher C.M. Lee in Typological Formations, Renewable Building Types in the City, working typologically involves both challenging the idea of the type and differentiating its deep structure generatively in response to the initial critical position. Questions of judgment, so why the type should change, and power, how it should change, needs to be tackled simultaneously. The deep structure of the topology was found by identifying key subtypological behaviors. We then chose specific behavior and then identified how it must change to suit the needs of the new building. Each procedural experimentation was performed with a specific behavior in mind. For the bridge topology, I studied the behaviour of occupying a space within a steel frame. And for the library, I studied the behaviour of using balconies as circulation. These behaviours have been preserved, amplified and modified throughout the design process. The steel frame holds a variety of different programs, and the balcony circulation has been modified and transformed into bridges between different parts of the building. As for the layout of the building, we can divide the spaces within it into 3 categories. These are the spaces within the long room, the spaces serving the long room, the domestic and utilitarian spaces, and the public spaces. The first 3 categories are closely related to one another since they serve the same user, this being the students and the startup businesses, and the last category serves the public. There are 2 parallel circulation systems within the building. You can get from one place to another by traversing through the long room. This circulation system is dynamic and generates the potential for spontaneous interactions. However, it can be inefficient and confusing. The second circulation system is more rational, consisting of 3 key stairwells and lifts, as well as a series of bridges connecting different parts of the building. The facade of the building expresses its program. For example, on top of the building is the theatre. It was placed here because the shape of the steel frame was appropriate to the shape of the theatre. The building is connected to the civic landscape through program and appearance. Art galleries and exhibition spaces are located within the building in order to attract visitors and showcase the talents of RMIT students, graduates, and local artists. There is also a cafe within the central courtyard of the building. The courtyard is a wheelchair accessible public space which provides a meeting spot for the community. The building itself also acts as a landmark, attracting visitors to Docklands through its unusual appearance. In summary, the Docklands Media Laboratory strives to create an open environment which fosters innovation and experimentation within the fields of visual, audio, and interactive digital media, and also strives to create a great experience for students, professionals, and the public. Thank you.